Life for All presents Daily Food Series Genesis, The Beginning. Title of Book 1, The Beginning, by Pedro. Week 2. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Wednesday. The spirit of man is the lamp of the Lord. Read with prayer. Thus says the Lord, who stretches out the heavens, lays the foundation of the earth, and forms the spirit of man within him. Zechariah chapter 12, verse 1b. God is eternal and dwells in eternity. Psalms 90, verse 2. Before there was creation, he was in eternity. We mentioned yesterday that the first verse of the first chapter of Genesis marks the beginning of time. When God begins creation, the counting of time begins. The heavens and the earth comprise the whole creation. And when it reaches the goal for which it was created, that all things be subject to Christ, the heavens and the earth will pass away, and time will end. The new heavens and the new earth will no longer be as we know and understand them. 2 Peter chapter 3, verses 10 through 13. The earth has a prominent role in God's purpose. Zechariah chapter 12, verse 1. God made heaven, and the earth in particular, to prepare it to place man on it. The most important part of man is not his physical body, but the spirit that God has formed within him. Through the Spirit, man cooperates with God to do his will. Therefore, the heavens are for the earth, and the earth exists for man. Furthermore, man exists for something that goes beyond his own needs. He exists for God. Man was created in a special way. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. God formed man from the dust of the ground to endow him with a material body to live in the physical world, subject to space and time to do his will. When this body reaches its date of expiration, it will return to dust. Without a body, we cannot produce anything on earth. Our body is God's sanctuary. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16, and chapter 6, verse 19. We must take care of it and keep it healthy to serve God and fulfill his purpose. When God formed man from the dust of the ground, the body was lifeless, like an inert clay figure. God breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, King James Version. Man's life came from the breath of God. To better understand this matter, let us look at the words spirit and breath in the following verses. The Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Genesis chapter 1, verse 2b. In this passage, the word spirit in Hebrew is ruach. In Proverbs chapter 20, verse 27, the spirit of man is the lamp of the Lord, searching all the inner depths of his heart. The word for spirit is neshama. In the book of Job, there are other verses that deserve attention. But there is a spirit in man, and the breath of the Almighty gives him understanding. Chapter 32, verse 8. In Hebrew, the word for spirit is ruach, and breath is neshama. The words ruach and neshama are interchangeable. They appear in the Spirit of God has made me, and the breath of the Almighty gives me life. Job chapter 33, verse 4. Spirit here is ruach, and breath is neshama. When the breath is meant to give life to man, it becomes neshama. Thus, Our creation essentially is a matter of our spirit. God, as the spirit, Ruach, when he breathed into man to give him life and create the human spirit, became neshama. Then, when this neshama reached the clay figure, it formed man's spirit, and man became a living soul. The soul is an immediate reaction to the breath of God. God created our bodies to do his will while we exist. When that body expires, the opportunity ends. Let us use our bodies well to fulfill God's purpose through the Spirit breathed into us. If God were to withdraw his spirit, Ruach, and withdraw his breath, neshama, at that very moment, all flesh would perish together. Job chapter 34, verses 14 and 15. God's breath keeps us alive. Without it, we would die instantly and return to dust. God gave each of us a soul, so we have different personalities. He does not want to mass produce us like robots. We are different. Each soul has self-determination and free will. In this way, we can express God's manifold wisdom by each one's expressing a part of who God is.